To smoke or not to smoke? That is the question. Today's hot topic is going to be about tempering pans and cooking ware. I'm going to show you two methods of tempering cookware. One is using the oven, one is using the stovetop. The stovetop is a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more smoky. The oven method is a little bit easier. Here you have the traditional Silverstone nonstick pan. Most kitchens have them. I don't usually like using the nonstick because it's treated with chemicals. And of course, when you use heat against chemicals, you know where that goes, right into your food. From your food, it goes into your body. My go-to pans is going to be cast iron, the wok, or the flat steel pan. Whoa, almost got whacked in the face. The flat steel pan. So the last three pans that I showed you are just steel or iron pans. They all will get rusted if they're not properly cared for. The thing that you don't want to do is once you get them seasoned, you don't want to wash it with soap. And what you can wash it with is one of these. This is a stainless steel scrubby, or you can use one of these, the bamboo scrubber that comes at from the wok store. This is my large cast iron skillet, and this is how I store it, with a little bit of oil on top of it, so it'll never rust. And this thing is like super tempered, and also totally non-stick at this point. I hardly use aluminum for the reason that it leaches into your food and then into your brain. And if you had to, I'm saying if you have to, because I've done it before, I've turned this into a non-stick pan by just using the method I'm going to show you today. The first method is the oven method, and what you would do is you take a paper napkin or something, a rag, and you cover the whole entire surface area with a coating of oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like. Just don't use high flash oil. Don't use like extra virgin olive oil or sesame oil. Stay away from the canolas and the corn oils. What I like to use is I use rice oil myself, the rice bran oil. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's a little bit better for you for when you're cooking. Anyway, you're gonna just coat the pan with a nice sheen of oil. Then you get your oven, turn it on to 500 degrees, and get it in there and stick it in there and leave it in there for like 25 to 30 minutes and let the thing cook. Once the thing is cooked, bring it out, let it cool down, and just repeat the process 2 other times. So you do it again. Once it's cooled down, get it all nice and greased up again, get it in here, get it fried up again, give it a good baking. But now the thing about doing this, it's going to smoke out your house. So make sure you got a good fan and good ventilation. Then once it's done in the oven, just take it out and let it cool down, and it should be kind of good to go. I really don't like this method, but some people recommend it because it's easier and it's safer. And this method you want to do outside or a well-ventilated area, because it's basically going to smoke up your place. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to put some oil in the pan, turn on the fire, and bring it to a smoke point. Once you bring it up to a smoke point, we're going to cool it down. And a quick way to cool it down is by removing the oil into another cold pan. And once the pan that you're trying to season cools down, you're going to reapply the oil back into the pan. This is the 3-step process, and it seems to work great, just doing it 3 times. Now you can see that the smoke is starting to form. Giving it a swirl around also works too, so you can coat the sides of the pan. But just be careful because this thing is smoking hot. You do not want to be doing this with slippers on. Because if it falls on your toesies, oh my goodness, the skin's going to come off. But remember, we're dealing with professionals here. Just kidding. I just like living on the dangerous side. Okay, it's coming to the point where the oil is going to catch on fire. You're going to see it start to burn on the outside. The oil is going to start to catch on fire and start to burn on the outside. And that's pretty much where you want to stop it. There you go, here it comes now. You can see it coming out. And so when it's at this point, you see it start to burn, you can turn off the fire, and the way you cool it down is just get it out. Just get it out into another pan. Be careful when you're pouring it out because this thing is like, and then let it smoke out and just let it cool down. And then when it's cooled down, just repeat the process all over again. By just putting the oil back in again. And then turning the fire back on. And then repeat. And just do this 3 times. Again, some things to caution. Make sure the pan is completely dry before you put the oil in, or that oil is going to come flying out. The other thing is, maybe have a fire extinguisher next to you. But in the event that it does go, you do catch on fire and it does go crazy, turn the fire off and get something to cover the fire. Or another pot cover. Just cover it and smother the fire. Just make sure you turn the fire off and then smother it. It'll be fine. Just don't freak out, whatever you do. Or like, whatever you do, don't throw water on it. And once you get past your 3-stage burning process or smoking process, you're gonna add some vegetables to that. So I just made a basic mirepoix, which is celery, onions, and carrots. And we're just gonna add that to the pan, saute that around a little bit. So then we're taking away the flavor from the smoke oil, and then we're going to add some vegetable flavor, which the pan will eventually grab. You can also add garlic, ginger. You can use any type of vegetables. Make sure it's kind of like some hearty vegetables. Don't be putting in any cucumbers or tomatoes in there. And you can just use scrap even. And so you're just basically going to saute this off until it's brown. So I'm going to stop right about here because I can see the vegetables starting to turn brown right now. And at this point, your pan should be pretty much like tempered and also non-stick at this point. And that's it. So I'm gonna do a pan test with a Diet cream cheese. See if my non-stick works or if it doesn't work. Let's give it a try. Bring it to a little bit of heat. Then we're going to add our piece of cream cheese. And you can just see it start to sizzling. And then we're going to take it out. This is just a stick test. And so now we're going to wipe it out to see if it sticks or not. And you can can see, it's totally clean. It's totally non-stick. So that's what it is. That's my two methods that I use to season or temper my pans. And I like doing it with the wok because the wok gives up so much flavor once you can get it to that point of non-stick. So just give it a try. Just be careful. Just use common sense. And I hope it works for you if you're willing to give it a try. Anyway, thanks for watching.